don't have GP2 and you don't have Quentin Pope. Houston.
The bounce back is usually sitting.
Pajemski having an air ball and a good closeout. All night at home against San Antonio.
15th opponent three-point shooting percentage. So if you can just move the ball.
I mean, and that is the league.
Per game back only. Like he had that Knicks.
Devin Booker.
He's willing to make that pocket pass. So Steph.
Minutes and points. Bradley Beal. The teams that are fighting for the keep winning.
Familiar with the Warriors. So nothing the Warriors do is in third options is going to be really important.
Devin Booker on a lean-in
basket, but Nick Richards, another Kentucky.
Clock only at 1. Leans in. Need to know these things.
The schoolwork.
Step on a sidestep three. By the way, in terms of all
of these games, they probably weren't thinking that. They wanted to win the team.
Beal, little push shot. Step out of the corner. Phoenix 4 of 10.
And off to a great start. He hasn't missed one yet. Already a sharp shooting specialist, and he ended more like a Paul Pierce in the NBA.
Yeah,
you know?
going on there.
A wide receiver, safe.
And he gets
Warriors are forcing turnover.
Steph.
Successful challenge. There was no proximate foul.
Steph Curry, a little push.
Moving quick again.
Oh, so he get Colin Gillespie trying to go.
44% three-point shooter.
There's Gillespie with an open. And Booker. 2 gold medals. Steph turn. Devin Booker crossing over Looney.
It's one game. The next game, the games prior, the gauntlet games, it's great to see.
No, the guys were honest. Just credit Houston. They won. They leading reserve rebounder and for the 4-year Marquette switch. And Grayson point leading the ball though inside 2 minutes. Problem with this start. Now, and Danielle Scott did the right thing. That was not. Gillespie for 203s in a season for the push ahead to Buddy, who's always running. And like the Warrior energy, Devin Booker, if it presents itself, a possession of the quarter. And out of the court.
Early action, see if he can infuse some energy.
With Nick Richards, Grayson Allen. GP2 is just banged up.
You can be.
Shot clock at 2, but Jim's
minutes for them.
There you go, Cody Martin.
That would be amazing.
Wanting there. Shot clock at 2 again.
So key for him.
And you got to run Grayson Allen off the line. And there's Grayson Allen's game right
back when it comes to the 3-ball.
Jamski. Allen one more time.
He had an angle. Make Richards.
So if they were going to deny you, it was going to be a foul.
The leaping ability.
Lurking. You read that pass. Oh, steady Eddie. It's not called. It's a lot of NBA experience.
Strip it perfectly with that type of precision. They got it done.
Lodging Alliance.
Centuries. Although
Moody's defense the last couple months. And Butler with
they're just super active.
And Curry down the on threes. Buddy at 20 again.
Still has some gravity.
Devin
being ready. Like a lot of times
had to shoot that to beat. He is so many extra.
You don't waste any time. You don't give him time to reactive.
Booker from the Bainix around.
Including Steph.
And Curry 94 feet. Bradley Beal setting up Royce as possible before halftime. And Kuminga. And then it's Gee's job to cut with
right reads.
Devin Booker off on her. And Steph.
Here for him in his pregame warm-up. A global icon, and as he shoots.
Or was when you walked out on the court. Tyus Jones out of the
game. I eat something, maybe.
Clock at 7. Kuminga for 3. Buddy Hield trail 3. Chris. Neal. Looney on the roll.
Got the game.
Evan SC 30.
There you go. Fire. That's wild. And Coach Kerr's, the Spolsters, the Power
Championship there. I would have numbers for the other night. And let me relentlessly building the advantage. He had nearly thrown one away. Good hands come on Looney.
And throw it right back to him. He's at the free throw line. The big smile on it that he always wears.
It's a phrase sometimes, and I'm going to apply it to Jimmy too. And Gillespie, the spot. And Booker in like November, December. And he throws 15 and 16 in this half.
He's off of Jimmy Butler and his comp.
And they saw Nowitzki and Tony Parker.
But it's really interesting.
Pajemski, corner 3, out, D-cell, pump fake, and Littleman.
That is crazy.
Devin Booker lead was 13 in the 5. Curry 3. Brandon Little leaner took.
I'll be the dirty work guy. I'll do whatever. Got it done. Gold.
Defensive Player of the Year real. Came on, relocate. Curry 3.
Pin him in. Got it. So he can't close back. He had 2 people hemmed up.
Curry.
That is setting the example.
Moody. He had the one on Austin Reeves. It's by far. Can you do that? Nemsky finding Butler. been so good since the trade. Butler's defensive rating is number 1.
Say they're smaller. They're the smaller team.
And then Booker is fouled.
This three-point shooter, but the degree
with Pajemski and Curry. The Beetle missing that. Body is not ready to come on. Kuminga wheeling, spinning, floating from three-point range. Uh-oh, they're going to bounce back, but
just got to close out and make sure they don't get
31 a game. And so, you know, that's how, because you're going to be on the get there. Kuminga. Curry's got it.
30 points in the paint.
That's a nice find. You know who's cutting without the ball. He's Booker with Steph. Took it. He's telling everybody.
So 2 for 2 on
pocket pass on the bench had been great. Is Gillespie down? Says we need to do this. Like anything he would
love. He said it, but you're just offering up to help.
Grayson Allen out of missing that three. Kuminga the offensive. Gillespie catch and shoot. Rebound. Back out to Pop. Oh man. JK, a little bigger lead. You play tomorrow night, you're going to see Steve Kerr.
So decisive, wrapped up. Doesn't matter.
That schedule. Okay, when's Caitlin Clark coming in? Nicely from Bolt. Bradley seconds to work with. Flying in. What's that like?
You know, squeeze their arms. There's a lot that happens there.
Doing a lot of great things. Gillespie working with Tyus Jones. Late that matchup and Kuminga game.
Rice have just ruined all of that.
Ryan Dunn 20. Shot clock at 5. Floating it flat.
Or just wait and see if they'll.
Buddy Hield on March 30. So they gave the whole season. Tyus Jones missing that. See them Sunday. And they're getting.
They've had against the Warriors. In there.
Jackson Rowe and Kevin Knox have checked in to go on some 10-point advantages. All the way back to win the game.
And the help is going to be on the wrong.
Cornbread. You can reserve your playoffs. I'll take it.
I'm good with that.
Kevin Knox. He loses this game. There's our friend Damian Lee. Third child, I should say. Damian. Guy Santos hit.
Energizer Bunny.
So setting up Pat Spencer, catch and shoot.
You know, a lot with a lot of other things happening. Adequate playmaker.
Martin, they finished with Portland, so
they have a tougher schedule left.
Yeah, Pat Spencer.
Playmaker, kind of a bigger point guard league this season. Great passer, Taron Armstrong is. Like, if you're going to get to a point where you're trying to score and you're trying to stick out in the
game. 2 years at Virginia, he was under. Has done such an incredible job.
Yeah.
Van Vliet would say I was pretty good. Undrafted in the Hall of Fame. Ben Wallace and Charles Bruiser. This is not quite. Hey, pay attention to Paul Millsap. He's there for the Spurs, trying to play spoiler. But by the way, Grace Jackson Davis tackle anybody that has a 7.
5. Baron Davis played well. He got in the game early and
having it blocked, but TJD. Jim Barnett coming to the booth, the other player.
He's getting buckets.
He would get buckets.
He looks like a supreme.
Warriors 56 points off. The Phoenix had beaten the Warriors 2 out of 3 tonight.
Well, that came in on one. Steph.
Here's Kevin Knox.
Who's the half-court shots. That's the thing
At the end of every Warrior practice. Jackson Rowe with the 3.
Yeah. Well, Steph was really
and the Lakers, the other. The Clippers 47, the Warriors 40.
That was a rough one for them. Happened in the playoffs, and I think that mentally prepared. I know the teams that
now. I fully admit, as Plumbers, got to win in Phoenix.
I had faith in the guys.
No, I know.
But after a loss, the Warriors were going to bounce back.
Like Usain Bolt after he won the 100 meters. Kevin Knox, and that was the bench. So 133, the Spurs at Chase Center tomorrow. Post game on his career rebounding night.
Actually tweeted it, whatever you call it now. I'll be the dirty work guy. I'll do whatever. Ego aside for the good of the team. They got it done. Gold. Heart is so big.
Draymond Green's Defensive Player of the Year reel. Back out to Draymond, relocate, Curry 3.
Help position.
So
now you pin him in.
Got it.
So he can't close back. And Jimmy Butler kind of had 2 people hemmed up.
Curry.
Double team at half court. And he got to the corner. That is setting the example.
Moody there. Moody had the dunk in New Orleans. He had the one on Austin Reeves. It's best conference this year.
Yeah, by far. They sprinted back. Sometimes good things happen when you do that.
On the road. And Pajemski finding Butler. That's why the Warriors defense has been so good since the trade. Butler Since acquiring Jimmy Butler, the Warriors' defensive rating is #1.
Because a lot of times you would say they're smaller. They're the smaller team.
Grayson Allen speed dribbling. And then Booker is fouled.
A sharp shooting specialist, three-point shooter, but the degree Steph is different.
It's a nice little interchange with Pajemski and Curry. Bradley Beal missing that. Oh, sometimes the mind is willing and the body is not ready to come up with that. Shot clock at 3. Kuminga wheeling, spinning,
Floor for 23 again tonight from three-point range.
When I saw the 4 for 34, I'm like, uh-oh, they're going to bounce back. But
to shoot these, you just got to close out and make sure they don't get
a leading road scorer in the league at 31 a game. And so with Steph with 31 a game, you know, that's how, because you're going to be on the rookie all day, every way.
Get there. You're rotating after you double.
Now Curry's got it.
Free throws. 30 points in the paint.
That's a nice find. Doesn't really get rolling. Buddy looking for a cutter. You know who's cutting without the ball.
He's crushed your float game.
Booker with Steph took it good at this replay review.
Yeah,
that's what he's telling everybody.
So 2 for 2 on.
Buddy Hield. Pocket pass to so 4 minutes for a few others, and the bench had been great. Gillespie down. Just call Guy Santos. We need boxes. We need to do this. Like anything. Guy Santos.
I mean, we love Guy Santos, but you're just offering up to help.
Boundless energy for Guy. Grayson Allen out of the. That's true. Pajemski missing that 3. Kuminga the offensive.
Now.
Gillespie catch and shoot. And Guy Santos is there for another rebound. Back out to Pop.
He's going to be giving me a call.
Oh, man. Get into the front court. JK, little. So part of this is you build the bigger lead. You play tomorrow night in GP2, so you're going to see Steve Kerr down if you don't need to. But Jan.
Well, he's been so decisive. The thumb wrapped up. It doesn't matter.
It says today. So I looked at that schedule. Okay, when's Caitlin Clark coming in? Significant injuries this year, and he's bounced back nicely from both. And Bradley in away, and Allen with 4 seconds to work with, flying in.
It didn't get hit in the schnoz again.
What's that like?
Man parts and just, you know, squeeze their arms tougher if they do avoid you to finish, but there's a lot that happens there.
12 second chance points. You're just doing a lot of great things there. Gillespie working with Tyus Jones. They isolate that matchup, and Gillespie and Plumlee, a little 2-man game.
Right here for the Suns, and injuries have just ruined all of that. Stop doing that this year. I'll take over. We're gritty.
Ryan Dunn, 28. Done with the shot clock at 5, floating it flat. It's like, no, go to work on that guy.
Or just wait and see if they'll.
Shot clock at 5. Buddy Hield on mark. Tickets for the last game of the season. Remember, it's 12:30. So they gave the whole
defended at a high level really all season.
Tyus Jones missing that. Well, the thing about the Clippers, when we see them Sunday, you know, they have just their depth, and they're getting.
The success they've had against the Warriors. Yeah, you can still make some plays here and there.
And Plumlee with the rebound. Jackson Rowe and Kevin Knox have checked a 29-point lead. You know what? The Suns to go on some 10-point advantages. 1-8 run.
That was crazy.
And came all the way back to win the game.
He's probably going to go the other direction, and the help is going to be on the wrong.
Food and drinks and more. Kalena will deliver cornbread. You can reserve your play this way. If people invite us to their suites in the playoffs, I'll take it.
I'm good with that.
Kevin Knox getting out of here with a win. On the brink of elimination. They lose this game. There's our friend Damian Lee. Third child, I should say. Damian. Jackson Rowe played that defense. Guy Santos hitting minutes.
The Energizer Bunny.
Out. Guy Santos setting up Pat Spencer. Catch and shoot.
A lot would have to either win out or go 3-1. with a lot of other things happening. They're high motor, adequate playmaker.
Martin game at Dallas. Then they play Houston. They finish with Portland. So Minnesota and Memphis.
Yeah, they have a tougher schedule left.
Yeah, Pat Spencer.
Yeah, he's a really good playmaker. Kind of a bigger point guard player in that Australian league this season.
Now,
really great passer, Taron Armstrong is. Defensively, that's his calling card. You know, like if you're going to get to a point where activity and all of it. Getting a ton about their defense. You're trying to score and you're trying to stick out, and now you're getting a shot to play in an NBA game.
2 years at Virginia. He was under Santa Cruz. Nicholas Kerr has done such an incredible job.
Yeah.
Well, you say Austin Reeves. You know, Fred Van Vliet would say I was pretty good.
Wallace, maybe?
Yeah, Ben Wallace, Hall of Famer, undrafted in the Hall of Fame. But Virginia Union produced Ben Wallace and Charles Oakley.
See him defensively, big bruiser.
This is not quite NCAA rebounding.
There you go.
And Karl Malone got, hey, pay attention to Paul Millsap. GSW hoop and be there for the Spurs trying to play spoiler, but the J Center's been great as of late, by the way. Grace Jackson Davis over there. We tackle anybody that has a 7.
People, I don't see any 7. There's a 5.
Baron Davis got 9 points and 5 boards.
Oh, he played well. He got in the game early and
defense. Braxton Key with the steal, having it blocked, but TJD. We saw Jim Barnett come into the booth the other of the NBA when he was a young player.
He's getting buckets.
He would get buckets offensively. He is nice.
And he looks like a supremo.
Warriors 56 points off the ball. Phoenix had beaten the Warriors 2 out of 3. The Dubs were ready to roll tonight.
Well, that came in on one step.
Jackson Rowe running. Here's Kevin Knox.
They're dancing after they're being introduced. The half-court shots. That's the thing that won.
Yeah, they shoot at half court at the end of every Warrior practice.
Beauty because Buddy Hield won't pay him.
Jackson Rowe with the 3 was insignificant.
Yeah. Well, Steph was really up.
Was the one team that lost, and the Lakers the other that lost. 47. I'm going to give the Clippers 47, the Warriors 40. Yeah, Luka got ejected in that game.
Yeah, that was a rough one for them. Like, there's a lot that can happen in the playoffs, and I think that in the first round, because everybody's had to stay mentally prepared. I know the teams that locked in, right, mentally sharp.
Now, I fully admit, it's Plumlee 21 since the Warriors got to win in Phoenix. 21.
I had faith.
They lost 5 straight.
I had faith in the guys.
No, I
know,
but
and they came out and showed, especially after a loss, the Warriors were going to bounce back.
Sense of urgency through the roof, and you pointed like Usain Bolt after he won the 100 meters. 5 seconds. Kevin Knox, a 3. And that was the bench. And that will do it. So 133. A lot of time to think about this one. The Spurs at Chase Center tomorrow. Guy Santos on the post game on his career rebounding night.